Evergreen Media Network Studio, powered by Scott Tree Services.
Welcome back to Classic Car Radio. Keith McDonald here with Mike Carano and Todd Byron. Welcome back, guys.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, well, we're doing a radio show right now.
Yeah. How's that, huh, Riley?
So now, if you're listening or watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Facebook, we stream live on those. And but on Saturdays at 2 o'clock, if you tune into WAXE, the Patriot Radio, 107.9 FM, 1370 AM. And that's at 2 o'clock every Saturday. And you can also stream it if you don't get that. If you don't pick up that station where you are, you can get it on iHeartRadio.
Right, iHeartRadio, and then you just go all through YouTube, through Evergreen Media.
Right, that too. YouTube, well, you can rewatch it, and you can watch the show as recorded. Yes, yeah. The only problem we have with being Saturday at 2, we announced a lot of shows that weekend for Saturday.
Pretty much over, yeah.
So, whatever, it's okay.
So that's that girl. She's amazing. At 14 years old, started rebuilding carburetors, and in 4 years it just took off.
Riley's Rebuilds, and I can't believe she's got so many Edelbrocks. Amazing amount.
And on her website, like she said, she does sell almost new carburetors for half the price.
Right. Yeah.
So if you need a new Edelbrock carburetor, or any other carburetors that she has.
Edelbrock, but
yeah, well, that's what she does. So that is what it is.
Yeah. Right.
Nothing wrong with it.
She said she's.
That's great.
So
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you know how to rebuild a carb on a Edelbrock, and goes to they're basically all the same, right?
And I think it's great that he's
Edelbrock and a carburetor is basically a Carter. They're basically the same frame.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, a carburetor is carburetor. You build one, they're basically all work the same.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. And I think it's great that she's got all these kids working with for her.
I know, that's great.
Now her little brother's doing it while she's away at college. I think that's great.
And really, we need more of that. It's a shame because
I agree.
Most kids don't want to do anything.
Well, like she said, out where she is in Bradenton, they don't have a lot of technical classes out there for kids.
Right.
Didn't Vero Beach try to promote that a little bit?
Well, we used to have one back when I was in school.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they still I don't think they have one now.
Really?
Yeah.
I think just the high school. I mean, you could try to do something.
Sebastian was doing it.
I think Vero has an automotive, don't they?
They used to. I don't believe they have one anymore.
Oh, okay.
I know Sebastian used to.
Right.
And they lost their teacher. Something happened there, and they don't do it
because a couple of years ago we had him on. He was talking about and they were trying to do like a car show to raise funds for stuff they needed for parts and
I think
cleaning supplies, shop rags.
And I think Steve has reached out to the local high schools to get some people to work also, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
that's good. Good.
I think it's great.
It is, definitely.
Good for her. She's doing a great job.
So we talked a lot about YouTube, and Riley's rebuilds are on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of shorts at the Evergreen Media Network page on YouTube. YouTube. And if you just click on shorts, you can watch some of the show. We have some that have close to 3,000 views now.
Nice.
And again, it's Evergreen Media Network YouTube page, and just click on shorts.
Right.
Shorts.
So what else you got going on there, Mr. McDonald?
Well, the drive had a lot of stuff this week that was kind of fun. They tested the best windshield washer fluids, and it's actually when you think about it, it's kind of important. I mean, we get the bugs around. We get the love bugs around here, and they destroy your windshield when they're mating, and they squash. You're driving down the highway, and it's like being in the jungle.
And it's like they hit the windshield and they get fried right away because the windshield's so hot.
Yeah, exactly. It's horrible. Anyway, the drive says if you're just using water or even Windex into your reservoir, you're making a big mistake. You're taking chances with vital component that keeps you safe while driving, and that's true. So they tested, and they came out with the three best. 303 makes a lot of car care products, But 303 has an instant windshield washer tablet. So you would take water and just drop the tablet in and put it in a bottle, shake it up, and then pour it into your reservoir.
Yeah, but some of those...
I've used those, and they work.
Yeah, but some of the reservoirs have screens in them, so how do you get the tablet through the screen?
You don't. You put it in a bottle, and you shake the bottle up and dissolve it, and then you pour it in.
All right, I got you.
And, and then Sonex Clearview, I don't know how you mix that up, but that's a concentrate?
Yeah, that's all
SONAX. I've never heard of them, but you have? Have you heard of Sonex?
Yes.
SONAX Clearview, it's called, and that's a concentrate, and you pour it, same thing, you pour it into a bottle.
Right.
You put the water in first and then put the Sonex so it doesn't foam up when you're trying to fill the bottle up. And the best is Rain-X 2-in-1 all season. However, and Rain-X makes good stuff for your windshield, Rain-X.
Yeah, that's what I use, the Rain-X, and I get the Rain-X windshield washer.
But they said they came to the conclusion that the concentrates are better economically and packaging choice when you're buying washer fluid. Sonex and 330 instant water tablets were their favorites when they tested them, only because of the convenience and the lower price. Rain-X is fairly expensive, you know that.
Yeah, it's like $5.
Yeah, so it's I usually just get like
Dawn dishwashing.
Whatever I get whatever brand is there.
Yeah, but it's tough to get those love bugs off the windshield.
Yeah, you got to get you got to get the formula for the bugs.
Yeah,
and up north they have the stuff that won't freeze.
Right.
The antifreeze style. So.
I know a lot of guys that I knew used to throw Pam on the front of their cars.
Really?
To stop the love bugs from sticking to the cars.
Yeah, they'll do damage to paint, right, Todd?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they will.
Get how they did that.
They've got acid in their bodies. The acid that eats at paint.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So love bugs, they're terrible.
And it's coming up.
It's coming up. Love bug season.
Yeah, it should be this weekend, basically.
Really?
It's usually around the beginning of June.
Oh, is it really?
End of May, early June. That's why they're called the June bugs.
Right, that's true.
Right,
They arrive right before the hurricanes.
And they come up right out of the ground.
I know. And they mate right away, and they're flying around with two of them together.
Yeah, and they were brought here to kill mosquitoes, and it didn't work.
Were they really?
That was the reason why they brought them here.
Oh, that's horrible. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They're a pain in the butt, I tell you what.
And I see you got an update from Tesla story.
Yes, we did a story last week about Hertz charging Tesla drivers for gas. And so there was an update that they had reimbursed this guy something like $297 or something he paid to get gas up a Tesla.
Yeah.
Hertz charged him on his credit card. Anyway, they reported that customer was charged $277 for gas when he rented a Tesla. Then he couldn't possibly have used the gas. And Hertz was fighting him on it, but finally they relented. The management relented when the Drive contacted them and said, "We're publishing this story about you guys." Anyway, they said some customers who rented EVs were inaccurately billed for refueling fees due to a systems error we had. This was going on for a long time, and people weren't looking at their credit cards to see that they were charged for gas when they rented a Tesla. So anyway, this guy named Toan Lee, he reported an even worse experience. He rented a Tesla, and earlier this month, in fact, and he was billed $690.32 for the rental, plus it through $25. It was included a $25 recharging fee. The invoice indicated that more than 2/3 of that, $475 was for fuel.
Fuel, that's crazy.
For a Tesla.
For a Tesla.
So this is something that I would just avoid EVs from Hertz for now if I were you. I'd just say, no, we're not gonna do that, you guys, or just stay away from Hertz in the Teslas for now. Just get a gas car, and maybe even just go to another budget. Go to budget or something.
I thought Hertz turned away from all the EVs too. I think
they are trying to get rid of them.
Right?
Yeah. Because a lot of the customers are complaining they can't find charging stations.
Right. So, stay away from Hertz. Don't rent any cars from Hertz for the EVs, at least the EV.
So there's a Pontiac story that I got just for you, Mike.
Oh, gee, thanks.
But it's actually pretty neat. They took a 1999 Pontiac Grand Prix, and they turned it into a do-it-yourself GTO with a 5-speed manual Tremec. What they did was they stole parts. This guy named Tyler Pittman, a young guy, and he took parts from, a Ford Mustang, last generation Mustang, rear suspension, put in the rear because they're front-wheel drive cars. So
Right.
he ripped out the whole drivetrain. He put in Ford suspension in the back with a Ford rear end. And then he moved forward. He found a custom drive shaft that fit. Was from a Chevy Colorado.
Okay.
And then he got a clutch off Amazon and a custom bell housing that fit onto a 5.3 liter,
All aluminum V8.
All aluminum V8 out of a 2009 Suburban. He crammed them all in as much as he could. He had to push the firewall back a little bit to fit it all, but so the weight distribution was right on point, that says, and so he's got a 5.3 liter Vortec modded up. It's got a hotter cam, eBay headers, and a cheap turbo, and 3-inch exhaust pipes, and he's got himself a 1999 Grand Am GTO, basically. Very fast car. And what he did with the body and the paint, it's just an amazing looking car. So you can see this all on the drive. It's one of their top stories.
Have you seen on Facebook or even on the internet, I'm hearing that I saw an article. I tried to print it. I couldn't print it. But GM is coming back with Pontiac.
Yeah, I saw something about that. Yeah.
So
I saw something about that. But those rumors have circulated for years, so we'll see what happens with that.
So you never know. You might have a Pontiac in the near future.
Well, it was the Obama White House that shut him down.
Right.
They just said, well, you got to shut down all your Pontiac dealerships. And they couldn't shut down Buick because Buick was selling big in China. So they're making more money off Buick than they were off Pontiac. So they had to shut down Saturn, Hummer, and Pontiac. And so someone's doing Hummers again, right? Isn't that right?
And Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
GM.
Oldsmobile?
And they got rid of Oldsmobile, too.
Oh, yeah. Olds went in 94, way back.
Right,
Yeah.
That was because they just weren't doing anything for the younger crowd. People weren't buying them, the younger people.
I've just seen a couple articles with saying that they're going to bring Pontiac
I
back,
saw something today about it. It was when I was searching for articles for the show.
Right.
And I was just like, this can't be true. And I just breezed right by it, so. But we'll see what happens. I'm not going to get my hopes up.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to come back. We're going to do a little tech talk, a little auto history. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Joe Scazzari, owner and operator of Scazzari Roof Services Contracting and Consulting. Scazzari manufactures its own standing seam metal roofs in a heavy-duty 24-gauge up and down the Treasure Coast, using only U.S. steel. Only need a repair? Repairs are guaranteed for 3 years. We can do that because we go in your attic, find the leak, see where it is, go out onto your roof, open that area, and repair the leak once.
Sturgis Lumber is the most trusted hardware store in Indian River County, and it's so much more than just lumber. Sturgis stocks stainless steel products such as screws, bolts, and threaded rods, power tools, hand tools, and saw blades, construction supplies like caulking and cement mix, all kinds of painting supplies, even propane refills and tanks, and plumbing and electrical parts. Stop by Sturgis Lumber at 4645 US 1 in Vero Beach. True value quality with a hometown smile. Sturgis Lumber and Hardware.
Hey you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be heard on more than 15 podcast platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio.
Hey, welcome back to Classic Car Radio. If you're listening in your car, cruising up I-95, we're on every Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock right here on WAXE, the Patriot Radio. And I'm Keith McDonald here with Mike Carano and Todd Byron. Steve has the week off. And
we got Todd, though.
We got Todd.
Thank God.
We got Todd, thank God.
We can answer a lot of questions.
Thank God you got Todd.
That's it.
So before we go on, we were talking about that commercial that was just on for Sturgis Lumber, but They're building a harbor. They're putting a Harbor Freight in finally at the corner where that old Eckerd drug was up in Sebastian.
Yeah.
So, any idea? Have you heard when they're going to open or anything?
No, I know that
It's kind of a neat addition to Sebastian.
They got the sign up.
Oh, do they really?
I just don't know when they're going to open. Yeah.
I mean, that's a fun place to browse around. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's not high quality, but you can find some good stuff there too.
Yeah.
You know, like during COVID, you go in there for rubber gloves. You know, I'm in the carpet business. You know, gloves and masks. I could find them in Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
And then everyone else found out about it, and then pretty soon you couldn't get them there either. But Harbor Freight had them for quite a while when everybody else was out of rubber gloves during COVID. I remember that.
Yeah.
So I bought one of those 100 packs, and I was good right through COVID with that.
Good.
Because I sat home. It wasn't working.
Right, you couldn't do anything.
I didn't need them until after COVID, until DeSantis opened us back up. But he didn't keep us closed for very long at all.
Nah. So what are we going to do? Some tech
We're going
talk?
to do a little history first, real quick.
First. Okay, go ahead.
May 19, 2007, Smart launches their little road show to introduce their micro car, the Smart car. But also on May 19, 1903, Buick Motor Company Incorporated.
Wow.
May 21st, 1901, Connecticut, where Riley goes to college,
Right.
enacted their first speed limit law. Connecticut becomes the first state to pass a law regulating motor vehicle speed, limiting them to 12 miles per hour in cities and 15 miles per hour on country roads.
15 miles an hour.
Wow.
Imagine that.
You can walk faster than most.
Yeah. May 24th, 1899, the first auto repair shop opened in Boston. At the time when most automobiles had to go back to the factory to be repaired, a local blacksmith, W.T. McCullough, established Back Bay Cycle and Motor Company, the first dedicated auto repair shop in the United States of America.
I wonder if it's
That was
still
May
there.
24th, 1899.
Is it still there?
I don't know.
Maybe it's a landmark.
I doubt it. It could be, though.
Never know.
And finally, May 25th, 1994, a man, George Swanson, decided that he wanted to be buried when he died in his Corvette. He was a beer distributor in Hempfield County, Pennsylvania. He was cremated and then he had his ashes placed in the driver's seat of his white 1984. He chose a C4 Corvette.
Yeah.
Anyway, he loved his Corvette. So, and then they buried the Corvette in a multiple cemetery plot that he had purchased. As a concession to the environment, the cemetery mandated that all fluids be drained from the car. So there's a Corvette buried up there.
With ashes in it.
With ashes in the front seat, and it's buried up in, I'm sure they had to drop it into a big crypt or something,
Yeah,
too.
well, they
right?
said he purchased numerous plots to get it in there.
Yeah.
But it's not like anybody...
But they don't always put them in a crypt. I don't know why. Put caskets into a crypt,
Right.
Vault.
A vault,
Yeah.
made out of
It'd be a pretty big one.
Yeah.
cement, yeah.
Got to fit your car in there.
and it's-
Well, if that's what he wanted.
And it's an 84 I can't wait to get my 84 Corvette
really,
back.
really.
You know?
Yep. 84 Corvette. I can't believe he chose. Well, he loved his
Kinda weird
Corvette,
that
like
they
I said.
cremated him and put him in there.
Yeah. Well-
One thing, stick him in there and bomb him like you drive it.
Well, yeah.
Imagine them digging that up 100 years from now. And what the heck is this? There's a car in here and there's a urn in
There's
this
some
front seat.
dead dude driving and giving me the peace sign.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so let's do some fun ones. I had one, there's a typo here, but Henry up in Palm Bay said, Todd, my 74 Trans Am is in need of a paint job. I've owned it for 15 years. It was last repainted in 91 with a single stage paint, changing the color from blue to black. I'd like to restore it to blue again, but I would like to add the TA decal to the hood. This is a nice driver car, solid, but does have a couple of small areas needing dent repairs. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, Henry. And some Endura bumper repair. Should I request a base clear on this car now, and should the decal be put on top of the clear coating, or is single stage still good for that car? I only have like a $3,000 to $4,000 budget for this paint job, so
Oh, boy.
yeah, that's a tough one. $3,000 to $4,000.
Yeah.
I would just go single stage.
You can't even get good paint for $3,000 to $4,000. It seems
Yeah.
like, right, Todd?
Yeah.
Well, should you go single stage then? Shoot it with inexpensive single stage?
No.
No.
Leave it alone.
Just leave it alone.
Honestly, I mean, $3,000 to $4,000 is way cheap.
But maybe he's
For a
going to do
paint
all the
job.
prep work for himself. I don't know.
Even if he did all the prep work, if someone had to go and sand it, tape it, and paint it, and they'd do it for $3,000 or $4,000, you better get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's way cheap.
Yeah.
But
paint.
as of like the decal, you can put it either way. I would probably go back original and put it on top of the clear coat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I would do that too.
This way, if you have a problem.
Yeah. And also, if it fades,
either
if it
way,
gets
it doesn't
faded,
really
sun
matter.
faded, you can peel it off and put a new
It
one
won't
on.
fade under the clear, though.
It won't fade under
won't? Really?
No,
Huh.
but,
The
it's-
clear wood
it's
wouldn't make
cheaper.
it shrivel or anything?
No.
No? Okay, good.
No, but you would end up wanting to come back and sand it and re-clear it to try to help get rid of some of the edge.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
that's
true.
that's a way to do it. That's the best way to do it. But
Right.
if you're on a crippling budget like that.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's tough, like you said. The paint. Sometimes you get paint is like $2,000-$3,000 a gallon.
Yeah, by the time the materials alone are going to be, they're going to be in that range.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Most.
Looks like you might have to do it in your garage, Henry. Do it yourself.
Get a
Do it
couple of
DIY.
Yeah.
Get some spray cans. Give it a shot.
God.
Go ahead. Next
All right,
one.
guys. Hey, guys. Al from the internet says, hey, guys, the evaporator in my 75 Olds HO is freezing up. This high output Olds. That's a Cutlass, right?
Yeah.
The compressor then cycles every 15 seconds. Happens in max or norm or any fan speed. What is happening? Why is it cycling like that?
Well, it's probably low on Freon.
Oh, yeah.
You think
Low
so?
on Freon?
Well, when they start cycling, they'll cycle when you get low on Freon.
Right.
So,
Okay.
or you could have something in a pressure switch issue, but most likely he's low on Freon.
Right.
All right.
Might be adjustable with a small screw on the temp cycling switch, it says. So
There you go.
Yeah,
If it's pressure
there's one that
switch-
goes on the
accumulator. Yep.
But,
Says that right here,
but
too.
mainly, if they're cycling, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for the question.
Right.
Go ahead.
Good question, too. All right. This guy, Don in Fort Pierce, has a 73 CUDA matching 340 in it to 70 specs. Slight cam, high performance exhaust manifolds, and 2.25 exhaust. Mufflers sound good at idle, but I want more of a throatier sound at throttle. Any suggestions what he should use? What would you guys use for exhaust for a little throatier sound?
Well, they have different categories. So if you'd have to, a lot of these like MagnaFlow, you could go on the MagnaFlow website and hit the muffler that you want. It'll give you the sound that it has out of
Oh,
it.
yeah, okay.
So you just got to pick the sound really what you want.
Yeah.
I got MagnaFlows. I don't know how many people
Yeah.
use Dynamax.
I put MagnaFlows on the Mustang.
Mustang,
because-
right?
did
It
you?
sounded
Okay.
good, yeah.
and they got different, ranges basically. So
Yeah.
Right,
that'd be the
right.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, pick out.
Steve of Vero Beach has a 64 Fairlane 500. She sits a little low for my taste, so I crawled under to inspect the springs, and they're very rusty, bowing ever so slightly down. Looks like it's time for new ones. I'm not sure what the original stance is, but I've always liked a little forward rake. Yeah, that makes sense. A little forward rake. What original spec springs give me? Would they give me that, or I'd need to source some with a taller arch?
I got mine from Eaton Springs, just like the answer you got there.
Yeah, okay.
That's where I got mine from.
Eaton Springs.
Yep.
Yeah.
They send them right out. They're great springs, and you won't have a
Does
problem.
that have leafs in the back of 64 Fairlane 500? Is that a
Yep.
leaf spring on the back?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he just needs to get a heavy-duty 4-leaf spring for the back and get him that rake he was looking for, probably,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got for time?
You got a
Perfect.
minute.
We got one more to go. Bruce in Port St. Lucie. Wow. Neighbor of mine has an 83
Olds
Olds
442.
442 Hurst Olds. It's got just about every option on it. Only has 23,000 miles on it. It's stayed in the garage all its life. He's getting up there in age. He's 85 years old now. He wants to move it. He told me to just make an offer. Any idea on the price? Now, I got an online sales range from 18,000 to 26, but that was from a website, and that answer was 5 years old.
Right. So it might be, it might be a little bit more than that. And we're out of time. We want to thank Riley from Riley's Rebuilds
Right.
coming
Yes,
on.
absolutely. Thank you, Riley.
Great job.
Yep.
So we're at Classic Car Radio. We'll see you next week, and we are out of here.
Put the pedal to the metal.
Peace.